Hello, everyone, and welcome to UC Santa Cruz. My name is Madison, and I work on the UCSC Global Learning team. I'm also a UC Santa Cruz transfer student alumni, so I'm really excited to be sharing about all of the different global learning opportunities available to you as a transfer student at UCSC. So this is the rest of the global learning team. I can safely say that we are all in the roles that we are because we've had our own transformational global learning experiences, and we're all extremely passionate about helping students pursue their own global learning journeys. So during this presentation, we're going to define what even is global learning, talk about why you should consider adding a global learning experience during your time here at UCSC. We're going to share some alumni data, talk about the different global learning program types, and then touch on all things planning, academics, application instructions, finances, and how to get started. So let's begin. So what is global learning, right? Global learning is really any academic experiential learning abroad in the US or virtually that results in progress toward an academic degree. So some examples could be studying abroad, studying away in the United States, or even doing an online global learning program like Global Classrooms. All of those things are considered global learning. So this is really the forefront behind all of the work that we do in our office. We firmly believe that global learning sparks growth in you and your relationship to the world. No matter which global learning program you do, all global learning programs are academically beneficial. You get the chance to learn about your field of study through a different cultural lens, or maybe you get the opportunity to learn a subject that's not offered at UCSC. They're all professionally beneficial. We're living in a rapidly globalized world, and you're going to be working with people from different cultures in your future career. So having an experience like global learning on your resume before you even graduate is something that will certainly help you stand out and that you can talk about in your future job interviews. And then lastly, they're all incredibly personally beneficial. Our environment, our comfort zone, the American culture, all of those things have had an enormous impact on our identity this far in life. And so to get the opportunity to discover who you really are when that environment is no longer present, all while you're learning new ways of living and new ways of thinking, can be very transformational for students. And that's something that stays with you long after your program ends. Okay, so students that are going on global learning programs are sophomores, juniors, and seniors. 20% of them are transfer students. So I really want to assure you that even though you might have a more limited time at UC Santa Cruz, if you want to study abroad or away, I promise you, you can still graduate on time. And then 70% of students that participate in global learning receive financial aid to help cover the cost of their program. I'll take a deeper dive into financial aid a little later, but just know that if you receive financial aid at UCSC, you're going to receive financial aid on your global learning program automatically. So now let's talk about program types. We have hundreds of different program options, and they're all going to fall under one of these 8 different program types. So the first is global seminars. These are programs that are led and taught by UC Santa Cruz faculty. They only take place during the summer, and you go abroad with a small group of UCSC students. Next, we have partner programs, which are more traditional study abroad programs. You're essentially a temporary exchange student at an institution abroad for a semester or an entire academic year. We also have global internships, which are major themed academic study and professional internship programs abroad. And then we have UCEAP, which is one of our program providers. They're system-wide, so they're only accessible to UC students. They have a wide variety of programs with various locations, fields of study, and term options. And then we also have other UC, which Really, all this means is that as a UCSC student, you can study abroad through any other UC campus. And each campus has their own portfolio of study abroad programs. So it really just expands your options by a lot, including your domestic options like New York or Hawaii. And then we also have the UCDC program. This is an academic study and professional internship program in Washington, D.C. You're living and taking courses at a UC center, and it takes place during fall, winter, or spring quarters. And then independent programs are programs that are not managed by our office, but rather programs that go directly through a study abroad company or organization. I wouldn't recommend these for transfer students because all of the other program types I just mentioned automatically earn you UC credit that counts towards the 180 that you need to graduate. But independent programs only earn you transfer credit. And in order to obtain a diploma from UCSC, you can only have a maximum of 105 transfer credits. Given that you probably have a lot already as a transfer student, again, I wouldn't recommend these. And then lastly, we have global classrooms. These are actually just existing courses at UCSC on their regular schedule, but they do have a project component where you're collaborating with a class and a faculty from an institution abroad. So these can be a great option to still get that cross-cultural connection without committing to a full program. All right. So really the first step, always, is to make a profile in the Global Learning Portal. You can access the Global Learning Portal by heading to our website, globallearning.ucsc.edu, and it's one of the buttons right up top. Once you're in there and you make a profile, this is where you can make appointments with global learning advisors and peer advisors. It's where you'll apply to programs. And it's also where we retrieve your data to send you any relevant global learning announcements, events, etc. Next, you'll need to start academic planning. This is a critical step for every student. We encourage you to meet with your major and or minor advisors as you're starting to explore programs to decipher when might be the best term for you to go abroad or away based on the rest of your major and degree requirements. We also encourage you to consider what programs offer courses in your major or minor, and what courses do you need to take at UCSC before and after your global learning program. So courses that you take on your global learning program can satisfy major or minor requirements. This is something that's very possible and very common. This process can differ a little bit depending on the department. So definitely meet with your major or minor advisor to inquire what the process looks like for your department. But usually they'll point you in the direction of a pre-approved course list, or they'll ask you to fill out a petition before or after the program, and they'll give it over to a faculty member to review and approve. Coursework on global learning programs can also satisfy GE requirements. So if you still have any GEs left to complete, you can potentially fulfill those on a study abroad or away program. This process is a little bit different. You'd be filling out a petition and submitting it to the Committee on Courses of Instruction rather than your department. So once you plan and narrow down your program, the last step is just to apply. We do have a couple of considerations for you to keep in mind when you are applying. So the first is we do ask that you only apply to one program per term. This isn't to say that you can't study abroad multiple times or do back-to-back programs, but again, just one program per term. The second is to make sure that you are eligible. All programs have minimum eligibility requirements that include a class level and a GPA requirement. And then some programs also include language requirements and or course prerequisites. So do make sure that you meet the eligibility requirements before you start an application. And then, of course, submit your application online by the deadline. Navigate over to our website and familiarize yourself with the application deadline for your program so you can submit your application on time. And then also head over to our website to grab the application instructions because they can look a little bit different depending on the global learning program type. So next, we're going to talk about scholarships and financial aid. So like I mentioned earlier, your package of financial aid automatically goes with you on your global learning program. It is readjusted to meet the total cost of your program, but we do have a resource for you if you would like to find out the exact amount of aid that you would expect to receive for a particular program. It's called Getting a Financial Aid Estimate, and it just requires 2 steps. The first is to download and complete the estimate request form, where you're just entering your personal information and the cost of the program. And then you'll email it to financial aid, and they'll email you back again with the exact amount of aid that you would receive. Now, if you don't receive financial aid, or if you simply just want some more funds for your program, there are dozens of global learning scholarships available. I highly encourage you to peruse our scholarships webpage on our website when you're applying to see which scholarships you are eligible for. And if you are, definitely apply. You can earn up to thousands of dollars. I did want to highlight a few that were common and popular among UCSC students. So the first is the Gilman Scholarship. For this one, you just need to be a U.S. citizen and a Pell Grant recipient, and you meet the eligibility requirements, and you can earn up to $5,000. There's also the Fund for Education Abroad Scholarship. So for this one, if you think that you may identify with any traditionally underrepresented student populations and study abroad programs, so transfer students, first-gen students, STEM majors, etc. They have more information on their website, but if you did identify with one of those populations, you can earn up to $10,000. And then lastly, there's also the Freeman Asia. For this one, you just have to have demonstrated financial need and have plans to study abroad in East or Southeast Asia, and you can earn up to $7,000. So lots of different funding opportunities to help fund your program. All right, and then I know that was a ton of information, so I do want to share some of our services that we have available for you. First is we offer drop-in advising every quarter. The days and times can change slightly for each quarter, but they're always in person in classroom unit building in room 103. Also, check out our website if you haven't already. We have so much information, resources, student stories on there. Like I mentioned earlier, we're also available for advising appointments. You can make in-person or virtual appointments through the Global Learning Portal. You can also email us with any questions at globallearning@ucsc.edu. We always respond within 1 to 2 business days. And then if you're not following us on Instagram already, definitely do. Our handle is @UCSC Global Learning. All right, well, those are all the slides I had prepared for you. Thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome to UCSC. We hope to see you soon.